right, welcome back. You are still tuned into Funtastic Fridays,
where the tastic is fun and it's on a Friday.
Exactly, and we're in the segment called Talk the Ting with Kim. And for today, we're discussing toxic relationships, signs, types, and how to overcome. So far, we've discussed what a toxic relationship is, and essentially, if a relationship makes you feel worse rather than better, it's probably toxic, right? And it's not only in romantic relationships, because the minute we hear toxic relationship, everybody start think, oh, man and woman. No, you have toxic friendships, you have toxic family ships, you have toxic work relationships, all of that. All your picnic and toxic, yeah? Your picnic and toxic. So I'm just saying, you need to open your mind. When we think about relationships, it's not always in a lovey-dovey space, right? So that's one of the things that we've been discussing, and then we're now going through signs that you're probably in a toxic relationship. So one of the things you said is that you're giving more than you're getting. It's a one-sided relationship. You're the one that always have to call, always have to take the person out, always have to treat them special upon their birthday, but what are you really getting in exchange? And eventually it results in you feeling devalued and depleted and demotivated, you know?
You might want to, act negatively toward the person, kind of like a lash out,
Exactly.
And that, is not good.
And another sign that you're in a toxic relationship, you feel consistently disrespected or that your needs are disregarded. So you probably express yourself and say, listen, I need you to start working on this, or I don't like when this happens, but it's eventually like it's nonchalant, or that's a you problem, you deal with that type of thing. It's disregarded. That's a sign of toxicity.
It can also mean that they do it for like a few, like them don't want to change.
Oh yeah.
And then they go back to the same thing after
2 days after, right?
Yeah.
And then you have your talks are, we ended with this one, your talks are typically laced with sarcasm or criticism. So the people that way want them to talk to each other, them just talk to each other rough. I would not talk about them friendship, they would just stay so. But I can literally know a toxic relationship without even knowing the people them. We just how they converse all the time. And I think we see that mostly between the whole baby mother, baby father drama where they're no longer together. I see most of those conversations happening in that instance, right? Where probably they're spiting each other, or they just can't accept the next person move on, or think that the person should have been hung up on them, and it's also pettiness and also spite is happening, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Another sign of a toxic relationship is the constant feeling of distrust or jealousy. So that's a sign, because guess what? A bit of jealousy is fine, That's like them say, a little everything, or too much of one thing, no good for you.
Right.
So if it's consistent jealousy, like, oh, why you always around your coworker, then why you run your boss so often, why you that's a sign, right? And if it's something that you can't deal with, chances are you shouldn't be in that relationship.
So let's say unwarranted jealousy then, because we have jealousy where
that's what we say. You have a healthy level of jealousy, but if you, because some people know that them have a partner or the partner jealous bad,
I agree with
and them just know, so then can't do certain thing because them know the firework will come behind it, right? You have an extreme level and you have a bearable, because everybody have a little jealous part of them, but they might say, I get that. But if it's a consistent thing where once you chill with a female friend or a male friend, or
even though she was across the hall, like why?
And then
did she know you were coming?
Exactly. And then the consistent distrust as well.
When you have on the same shirt, like could have plan up to wear.
Yeah, right? That's a sign of a toxic relationship, because reality is, guys, if you can't trust the person you're with, it not make no sense when they're dead together.
Yeah.
Because every second something that they do, you have to question it, or you have to do some background check for interest in what them say is true. It's not a healthy relationship for you. That's the reality.
And you have to give them like picture, photo proof, video proof.
Exactly.
Past a reference. You have to sign it for them believe you.
Listen, I remember a taxi man tell me about how this girl cloned him WhatsApp and him never know for how much months. So all his messages she was getting, all his phone calls as well, she was getting as well. That's toxic. You have to do that.
Right, them try that with me one time, when I say, wait, how this a message I read, I read it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't You know, more to say the relationship toxic.
That means the person toxic.
Yeah.
If you cannot trust the person, if you have to go to the extreme, you're in a toxic relationship.
And the worst thing about that,
you shouldn't have to check up on nobody like
people
that.
who are usually that level of
insecure
or not willing to trust are usually up to some shenanigans.
Yeah, no, but what I say is that,
so it
would, like, personally, like, I don't know if this is real, but if a relationship is toxic, it have to do with both of you.
No.
Yes.
It's if you are in a toxic relationship, you don't have to be toxic,
No, that's actually something I wanted to point out earlier, that
counter the toxicity in the relationship, and it's whether or not you're going to blend in or separate yourself.
But that's something I wanted to highlight, because when we think about toxic relationship, we automatically think about the other person. Guys, sometimes we are the toxic person.
Right.
Sometimes we are the toxicity in the relationship.
But not all the time it's going to be two persons that are toxic in the relationship.
You don't necessarily start out toxic. The person has some traits, some things that are going on, and you don't start out that way. But once you start to feed into it, and you start to probably counter these, it will become toxic. And it's only, you're in a relationship, so then it becomes a what? Toxic relationship.
Well, as bad girl Chevy said, Kimmie, why you chat my business? She says some men are lying to the extent.
Ouch.
So we gotta do what we gotta do.
Bad girl, the people on WhatsApp fire phone. Bad girl,
she said, listen, I can't trust nobody, so I have to make my checks first.
That now gonna help you. May I tell you?
Chevy are toxic.
Yeah, man. Hey.
No, but that's the thing. One of the things I realize is that in today's society, we have welcomed that idea.
Yeah,
people going around bragging that we know we're toxic, and whoever have to deal with it have to deal with it, but we know we're toxic.
And that's how I got it.
And that's just me. I just gotta do it. And that's not healthy, guys. That's not healthy, because that effort and work you're putting into keeping track of that, I'm telling you, and it actually affects you mentally.
Of course. And physically too, because most of the time, because you know, if you try watching man WhatsApp, you don't even remember say you put a little rice on the pot. So rice bono.
Yeah.
You remember say all these things are happening because these things take time.
Exactly.
Yeah, read 7 messages from you remember say you read one message last night, so the man go 3:30, 7 o'clock. You left your work to go fast to see where the man go, and know you lose the job. All these things, you can tell that they are not healthy, because they will have negative effects on other areas of your life.
Well, as bad girl Chevy said, just like how Kimmie gave MB stone flu, that's a toxic operate. It's something catchy.
It's catchy.
I love it.
But the tricky thing though, when you get to this kind of level of, they call it now, is it mistrust or distrust?
Yeah, distrust.
This level of distrust is that if you say, boy, okay, you're gonna say copy the WhatsApp to your phone so you can check the WhatsApp. You know what gonna happen next, people? Oh my gosh, he's also using Instagram.
And you start finding another way
as well. Oh, he's also on TikTok. So so if WhatsApp peaceful and Instagram peaceful, no, but him have TikTok on him phone, so
like you're always searching.
But TikTok
always searching, yeah.
So the search will never.
I ain't not healthy for you mentally, guys, to be caught up in that. And I'm speaking from experience. When I was younger, I was a part of the search phone committee. Guys, since I've become mature, I don't do that. My mental health is worth more. If me doubt you in a certain thing, I gotta ask you. If over time it is a certain action not add up, I will quicker take. I've literally done that. I've been in a relationship where I really care about a person. I just felt like, this just not feel healthy. And instead of me going down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out stuff, I just said, this can't work. And it was hard. But guess what? Eventually it got better.
I was introduced to a toxic lifestyle too as well. I mean, they're constant more time when I sleep. I wake up them I tell me what go on my phone. So I say what go on my phone that you're on.
Yeah.
So now I say, alright, since I'm searching phone, let me search phone today. And I think that one look at instance where I say, boy, see this never make no sense.
Yeah.
Me probably have say me have one person where you probably say, look at speculation.
Yeah.
But them guys
you could have question one and two things.
But like you say a whole catalog of people. So you get me I say, so me is like me never remember I said, but the point was for me look through the phone. Right now, but I think like, what is this? When we do this new information now.
That is it. What do you do next?
You're just weak in your heart.
And that's another part of the problem. A lot of people do the searching and they find out stuff only to stay. Why you do all the research
so
for them?
Eventually, we try to stay, but eventually we say, listen me, at the end of the day,
I did that.
this is not healthy, so we have to make a pause and make a proper decision.
Mine was accidental. But I did
You
that.
accidentally search a phone?
No.
I will fight you.
It wasn't like that. The phone rang and it opened. No, I didn't open it because I don't know the password.
The Lord said that Jada needed to know.
I don't know the password. I don't know nothing. And it was, at the time, it wasn't swipe up. It was fingerprint.
Mm-hmm.
So it opened up and I saw my name and I was like, okay, my name is there. Click. My finger went to the chat below it. There's no reason for me to go into that chat.
Why you want to go in your chat when you have the same chat by your phone?
No, because I am very
Envy.
smart.
Listen,
come back out.
No,
I did, but the part, the message at the bottom.
Envy.
Or two scrolls up. No, let me finish. The message that 2 scrolls up was that, hey, you're coming up, and I went, oop, like this, and I gave it to here you go. This is not. I know it.
I'm not saying where you're making
Open up your hand to the phone, and you're like, you're okay.
Envy. Remember that Jada also has her phone, so the conversation when she had tap out with fair name, her phone should have the same convo. So
no,
she would
check the same.
It's the same Jada. Who said it was the same Jada?
So apparently those phones never
not.
have DP on them something. You know what I'm saying?
No, it never have to be the same Jada. It could have been a different Jada.
So why you gonna
anything that makes it sweet, but right now.
It's real good because
accidentally search my phone.
after that you can't have me nothing after that. It was an accident.
Listen, as bad girl Chevy said, but not for copy anything. Me just use my brain and thought things I don't know. The thought things I don't know, and here goes his mouth flying. Okay, I don't want to work on the side, you know.
Okay, so you got average you go meet her and then just stop her listen to any food. She says hello.
That is
yeah, man, guys, I'm telling you, the search phone thing, it not healthy. I had heart palpitations from something over side out, and we say, I honestly, I not even feel like I pronounce because my heart does. Like, it just don't make sense. And I was like, oh, this is how people die.
No,
of heart attack.
really? I never feel that way. I didn't.
Probably you never saw enough. I saw.
Probably you weren't that deep in the relationship. Because if you're
for mine, it was a couple of years, and I'm telling you, firstly, let me give you a little synopsis of one of the situation. So, firstly, it was early morning and I saw some stuff, right? So eventually I was so upset. So they wake up and see me read. I'm gonna stop. Like, you know, something pretend I was living. And then it was like, okay, remember, I said, don't tell me nothing. Ain't me if you know in this. Me need you to explain. Listen, and then he was trying to find some way, right? Trying to take out the phone and he couldn't get it from me. And everything was saying with this guys, and guys, I promise you, I'm not exaggerating. I read.
She still a read.
From like 4 a.m. back to about 2 p.m. I read. That's enough content.
And that's more than one content.
That's it.
Or one content I read.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
And at 2 p.m. I was like, you know, why you even still like when you try to see the phone, I was like, why am I still reading? Like,
or just one.
It was just a flowing.
No, as in like.
So you know, it's like a relationship type of thing I go on.
If you read across different.
Oh no, man! One conversation, man. One conversation. And I eventually bashed myself at 2 o'clock. I was like, why you saw more than he know?
So people never did call your phone to talk to you.
I don't know what else happened today, guys. I cannot tell you nothing else what happened that day. That day. What happened in that day in my life is I read for a couple hours well. Yeah. So eventually I just said to myself, so you know what? Let me read no more. Like, it's like me look for more if it convince myself to Kim. I
had to explain to a girl that was searching my phone one night and we wake up about some morning and then I search phone. I had to explain to her that if you look at the date here, it says 2011, and we're met you in 2012.
No, so the response I got was
things in every day. Just run with it.
No, man, Lionel. The response I got is that's why I tell you, don't search for it. That's why I tell you don't do it now because you are gonna read something and interpret it different from what was there. I'm like, to interpret this no different. Listen, guys, I had no argument in me. I just said, I just decided that it's done.
Once you go down the rabbit hole, it's a forever thing.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was just like, it's done. Yeah, man. No, it is done after that, man.
But some people go back after all that.
Cause no, I think there were problems that happened before, so there was already like that rockiness that was going on. But them always say, most women do that. There's always a straw that breaks it, and that day was the straw that broke the camel back.
That straw that was the tree.
And it's like I started cussing myself because I was like, why you there for read so long? You saw more than enough in the first hour to even say, yo, you're done.
But you still want to.
But I think it's like I wanted, it's like
far.
Man, and I found out something.
You want to know when it started?
I found out something.
How many times it occurred? Was it great?
This, guys, if me for write a book with what I read in there, so. Well, anyways, let's not even get into that. Kind of might get me bring go.
Check into the people on the live popping up. Check into those WhatsApp live.
No, but for real, guys, that was a clear sign for me it was a toxic relationship, and I just had to choose myself in that moment and say, I cannot do this anymore. So another thing that happens as well as a sign of a toxic relationship, it takes a toll on your self-esteem over time, and this is something that happens to a lot of people. You have people who their views of themselves is not necessarily them get up and say, alright, I just don't like myself. They start, I think for women especially, the minute, let's say, a man cheats or is putting his attention somewhere else, you start questioning yourself. A lot of women do that. Oh, probably I'm not attractive enough. Probably not wear the things they want. Like that. That's literally how a woman mind work.
Remember, that's when a woman. I was gonna say when women, but when women are said looking for a relationship, remember, they say that they are the prize.
Yeah, we want to feel unique.
They're saying that the man, chooses them or they choose them.
Yeah, I would know enough a girl out there now, but him choose to do with me.
When the problem occurs now, or in a situation comes up, the first question is gonna be like, what's wrong with me?
Exactly. That happens a lot. That's how our mind process it. Right?
What's wrong with me? What me shorter? What me could have done better?
No, I'm only speaking because I know from my experience. I figure that's for men too.
With the men know it's more about it. With women, with men know it's more about, I'll say, for an ego thing. Mm-hmm. I say, why am do better than me?
Yeah.
But the woman would have more look at what wrong with them.
Yeah, man. She gonna start analyze everything about her. Whereas if the girl is like an opposite to her, let's say for example she a little thick and the girl is slim, or she's slim and the girl is thick, whichever one. You might say, oh, is that thick because him did one all along, and then she, it's like all sort of things start going in her brain. Probably say, all right, she starts to blame herself. Yeah. We should wear more short dress in the car. Him like short dress. It's like those things start happening, and it really does take a toll on your self-esteem. I promise you.
She worry about her value and stuff.
Yeah, man, and it's like nothing you can tell her after that, because for guys, and I tell you when people are cheated on, it's an extreme emotional toll, and it's for man or a woman. It's an extreme thing. It's not something that people need to just do. Oh, me let it become a feel like No, guys, understand the impact you're having on somebody.
I think for me I don't know if it was emotionally impacting, because it's like you didn't know, say, you want to stop me, but you never have any proof then to prove it. Mm-hmm. But for me, what was really hard hitting was that people knew who I was talking to. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, Christ, people are gonna be like, but see, Jada made it talk to you.
So probably that's the embarrassment element.
I felt embarrassed. So it wasn't even like, she's prettier, because I can give women their flaws and say, yeah, she's pretty or whatever, but I know I look good. Mm. So
the two things for you, I would say, Jada, is that one, either you prepared yourself for it, because some people in a relationship and them tell themselves that person I cheat already. So if it don't come up, then
I knew there was something going on.
Yeah, but you say you never have any proof.
I never have any proof.
Exactly.
So when it happened, I was just like,
some people will look for the proof, and when the proof comes is when them start believing. Well, you probably got some time to prepare yourself.
Just like,
that's like a very bad way to look at it, because you should never assume the results.
No, I mean, it's not.
It's not results.
No,
you're acting suspicious.
Oh, what's suspicious of what?
Of what?
What I'm saying is always just label the action.
Mm-hmm. No, I think if I had just labeled the action, I would have been stifled in that moment.
What I say is, let's say your partner stay up late. Just think about it as your partner stay up late. And just note it.
That's not how women's mind works. Our minds connect everything.
You walk with an extra shirt on that specific.
Yeah, man, we work on everything, man.
Only learn at school. I don't know.
I know them learn at school. And them come up with anything where them know right now. And them make up. You see, teacher right, probably about 5 + 5 = 10. Hear them. So you're telling me, say, 5 people go to the shop. I see 5 other people. So I know what 10. They might listen to what teacher say. They make our own story.
No, but that's how women mind work. We connect everything.
No. Note say, alright. You see a partner still late.
Yeah.
It could mean that they're cheating, but it could be a million other things.
Yeah.
So let me just not assume and full up my mental space with one assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Just note the action and pay attention, but don't pay attention for try prove to the person.
Alright, well no, what I was pointing out first is just how women naturally think. We link everything. As I've seen in some like videos and so where man can open one box, woman have all 46 boxes at one time. That's the reality.
Mm-hmm.
But most times it's not until some seed of doubt. You see, if it's a fresh relationship where things are good and you're still late, chances are that girl that questioning nothing.
No.
There's usually something that has inspired the doubt that then makes. So she may label it as, oh, him just work late. Yeah. But then when I don't know what, then I can't specify.
No, and you come up with a different bag that we leave with.
But you know what I mean?
So then I jump to it. There's usually something.
No, but you know what me do? If me say your pattern change.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to you, babes, you know, so you usually come home this time. You know, you start coming home at different times, so I'm assuming a lot of things. And one of them is that you have to do something.
Right.
So I just have to bring it to you, so this is where I'm thinking.
This is what your process is, yeah.
You see, based on you can, you know.
You can be honest and clear the air, or
defensive.
You can try to trick me.
Whatever. You know, whatever you say. So let's say you tell me, say,
you're not to worry.
You know, you're not for worry, man. I'm just doing this, and this. And you know, I'm going to take that. I'm going to say, okay, alright, fine. I still have a reason for believe say I do something else. Me just a leaving. Me not try to prove that. You know.
So that is why I said earlier, if you cannot trust the person, it's better you leave it alone, because most people stay in the relationship not trusting, instead turn investigator and even they find out all the information, they still stick around and trying to fix a toxic relationship.
Most ladies are motivated by that element. You see them now, you see when you say the lady come in late and you have a little doubt, the woman not say, oh, she have a little doubt. The woman say, listen me, I know this man is up to something and I will not stop until I figure it out. And them not going to come to you and say, excuse me sir, are you up to something? No. The man say to you and say, oh, you alright, you eat food? And I go ask 50 different questions, come to a
yeah, man, where do we research around the topic, man? When I go to the subject,
come to me and say,
it's just how they work. That's why they have to get
you are one and you're an exception.
That's how they work.
You should always note the
some comments on the live
to relearn and get socialized and into handling situations differently, because that's how they grow up.
So some of the comments on the live, Kimmie 96 said toxicity and obsession are best friends. And obsession always and obsession always carrying wrong news to toxic and causing problems. And then bad girl Chevy said, "Me sit down for days and premeditated, and then here comes the argument. Call me toxic." No, but the reality is,
why can't you go to the river go get a wash up? Can't trust me, I carry some bag of load.
She's just speaking her truth.
Yeah,
but the thing is, I get what Jada is saying when she said, you know, we understand so we can ask certain questions, and to be honest, we know who we can ask certain questions. You have someone with dry eye. You can ask them and I'm going to tell you. And it's going to hurt, you know. But we can know, so you're going to tell me. But then most people feel like, okay, if I let you, if I make you become aware that I know that me aware, you're going to fix up. And I prefer to have my news, because guess what? You have the man in my gaslight, you have the woman in my gaslight. So guess what? You have to come with evidence, because no matter what, they will make you think that you are the problem.
And then not only that,
so because all of us are traumatized from stuff, we are take that into new relationships.
That's what I was about to say.
It's a bunch of traumatized people out there in the dating world, you know.
I was going to say, not only them things, most of these persons are acting up on past trauma. So the first man they start work late and him cheat. So as you start work late,
oh yeah, cheat too.
We're paying for other people's problems.
So just like how the man did guilty last time, guess what? She never gonna ask you the question. She gonna go to work, she gonna stay outside, wait for the time when you come out, clock it off, monitor the truck the vehicle, speed meter and them something, the other meter so much miles the travel. They might add them something, because the last man they had the experience with did all the wrong things. So she will have be on top of the game. and find out before.
But that's
she
not
get
good.
her-
Listen.
No, it's not
Right.
good enough. And that's what we're getting at
No, that's-
right now. Is that it's not good, but a lot of us are traumatized with not dealing with it.
Yeah.
So we take it and we create new rules for the new person, the new
Exactly.
man or the new woman. And if they don't abide by that, all of a sudden, boy, you know, worth it the
Next
time.
time they miss
But we're not
it.
fixing ourselves
Yeah.
and the problems.
You have 5 seconds of
Yeah, we have 5 seconds
If
because
you
time around
feel you
out.
are being disrespected, leave. The investigation don't
And
work.
that's what I was saying earlier. Because most people do the research for stay.
Watch it
They're not gonna know.
No, here's why this.
They will know everything and them still there with the people them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break that point because you already know this, Kimmie, and Jada knows this, and we mentioned things like this before. The reason why the women will stay in these situations because one thing a woman loves to do is transform a man.
Oh, I can.
And you
I
have a
can
bagger
fix you.
girl, but I know what I mean.
I'm unique.
So
I
if
will
you
not.
to cheat on him next time, but he not
I
cheat
am not
on me.
a bitch.
So when she
Yeah,
find
I
out,
don't
she
build
say, so why you go cheat on me?
I
And then the
cannot
man
fix
said, no, we're not do it
anything.
again, babe. And she said, alright, and she said,
No.
Alright, guys.
I cannot build.
That's all we have time for. But guess what? We're going for part 2 for next week for toxic relationships, the signs, the symptoms, and the signs, the types, and how we can overcome it. Alright, guys, stay safe for the fun conversation. Thanks to everybody that took part.
Bless up to everybody that tuned in. Congrats to the winner, Bad Girl Chevy. Have a fantastic weekend.
Big up yourself,
But
Kimmie
all the time,
69.